Welcome to Switch Comics. My name is Marco, and today is good news. Good news for me. I thought I lost these books forever, and they have been returned to me. I don't want to get into all the nitty-gritty details, and quite frankly, I don't know and probably never will know a lot of the details of what happened. But basically, these books were sent in for grading, or sent in to be graded, and along the way they disappeared. And it's not a CGC or CBCS issue, and that's what we'll leave it at. There was a lot of things that went on behind the scenes, but and like I said, a lot of things that I still don't know and never will know. But the point of this video is that I'm excited that these books are back. Some of these books have been gone. Most of these books have been gone for about a year and a half, and then a couple of them have been gone for a little bit over 2 years now. So it is very, very good to see them back. You'll see some of them will be like, you might think now, like, why would you send that book in? Again, these books were sent in a long time ago. Especially, the comic market was up, and there were other books that were, hyped and whatever. And some of them I knew wouldn't be anything super expensive, anything, were just stuff that I wanted graded. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, it was funny. I kind of fairly recently really accepted. I was like, yeah, these books are probably never coming back. And here they are. So let's go ahead and show off. Again, these were all sent off, some to CBCS and some to, well, I don't want to get into that. I'm trying to avoid any unnecessary drama. But we have Hawkeye number 1. Or is this all new Hawkeye number 1? No, this is just Hawkeye number 1. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful cover. I'm pretty sure you can probably just grab a 9.8 for like 50, maybe $40 on eBay now. So might end up doing that eventually. I do like Kate Bishop. And this is one, like I said, I knew wouldn't be very much. Definitely would have been more back then than now, but yeah, definitely a cool book. Now, like I said, maybe eventually I'll go ahead and just grab a slab of it anyway. This is one I have several graded copies of. Again, has definitely gone down in value, but just a gorgeous Ironheart cover. This is my personal favorite Ironheart cover, and that's why I have so many of them graded. With some more Riri stuff here. So this is her third. Wait, what do I think? This is 7. No, this is her first that's what it is. I had to think for it. First cameo appearance, but it's one of those that's tied with her first partial cover appearance. This is the 3rd printing. That's what the 3 comes from. So the first printing and 2nd printing don't have her face on there. Don't have this little bubble, but some other printings of this book, and I think number 9, which is their first full appearance, and maybe there's one other issue that all included this, and they came out in like the same week. So they're tied for first partial because it's just her face. But anyway, I mean, it's still her first cameo appearance, and pretty low print run, I think, on this 3rd print as well. And I do like the purple title. Just think it looks good on the cover. I don't know if I'll end up getting that one graded again. Here we have Miss Marvel 16. This is the first cameo of Mystique. Still a pretty decent book, I think, to have. It's funny because I don't really remember the conditions of any of these books, obviously. They've been gone for so long, but, I mean, it's a pretty nice looking copy. Maybe eventually get it graded. I'm not going to be sending anything off to get graded for a while, probably. But, yeah, regardless, like I said, I'm super happy. There definitely are some in here I do want graded, though. So we'll get to those. Here we have X-Men 244, first appearance of Jubilee. I almost said Psylocke for some reason. First appearance of Jubilee. Pretty cool cover as well. And just a good solid... from what I recall, this was a really nice looking book. Yeah. It was pretty nice. Nice little X-Men key, This one... I haven't checked its price much recently, but I'm sure... I've definitely missed the mark, as they say, on this book. We have Marvel Premiere 47. This is the first appearance of Scott Lang as Ant-Man. Also the first appearance of Cassie Lang. So nice little double key here. And great, super iconic cover as well. Really, really like this cover. I will probably end up this will probably end up definitely being graded at some point. It is still a pretty pricey book, I believe, and eventually something I want to work towards is getting an Avengers #1 and then having not all first appearances, but like I want to have a bunch of books to represent the main Avengers, or what I consider to be main, or more so like some of my favorite Avengers and stuff like that. So like I want an Avengers 1, and surrounded by, I have my Journey to Mystery 83 already. Eventually I'd love to get a Tales of Suspense 39, but even if I don't get that for a long time, I still have Iron Man 1. Cap, I don't know. I kind of wouldn't mind an Avengers 4, but I don't know. I really don't feel like spending that much money on a Cap book, so I don't know. I'm not a big Cap fan, so I'll figure that part out. Hulk, obviously not going to get a Hulk #1, but I would like to get a Hulk Annual 1. I think that's a pretty affordable book, and pretty gorgeous looking book as well. I have a Doctor Strange 169, which is my favorite Doctor Strange cover, I believe. And definitely, especially like, because like him, his first appearance is really expensive, but also like I'd rather have 169, which, by the way, those who don't know, is where it switches over from being called Strange Tales into it's the first official Doctor Strange titled book, and I think it's a gorgeous cover and super cool. And then, like I said, this would be good for Ant-Man, and I probably missed some other Avengers. I started ranting, forgetting my things. But anyway, moving on to more books. This is one I think the only, well, like I said, I have slabs of that Rig, but I think I even maybe had some of those slabs before I sent that one off. I just wanted a bunch of that one slabbed. But this is one I went ahead and grabbed slabbed because Elsa Bloodstone's first appearance here in Bloodstone 1. Really like this book. Really love Elsa Bloodstone. And this one, oh yeah, still got the price tag on there. Well, it's kind of faded. But I think I paid pretty much the same amount for this book back then, a long time ago, as I did for a 9.6. Now, granted, I think I got a good deal on the 9.6. When I see a 9.6 pop up now, they are going for more than what I paid for it. So I think I snuck it in a really good time and grabbed this one. I love this book, though. Happy to have another one. Although, I guess I should mention, we are now doing, for our channel members, there's going to be a monthly drawing at the end of the, the very last community hangout stream of the month, which is typically on Sundays. There will be a drawing for channel members to pull out of the comic book of goodies, the short box of goodies, I call it. So yeah, there's depending on what type of membership you have, you can either get 2 pulls, 5 pulls, or 10 pulls out of this box if your name is drawn at the end of the month. So this will be the first month. I'm super excited about it, and I will keep adding more things to it. I have not filled out the short box yet. This is just some of what's available, and I may even add this Bloodstone to the box. I don't know. We'll see. Stuff like that I have duplicates of, it might happen. I do really love this book, though. So I think you have to fight with it. I think we need to get some more channel members before I add something like that. Which, by the way, the more channel members we have, the better quality books I will be continuously adding in there. Because some books might just be like, oh, this is a cool cover. It's not really worth too much, but it's a cool cover. I like it going in there. But if we get to a point where it's like there's a good number of channel members, I'll be like, all right, I got to make sure there's some really good stuff in there. And just as it, if it escalates more and more, then the better and better the stuff will be. So that one I probably, whether it goes into the box or not, I don't think I'd get graded to have a 9.6 already. I'm very happy with the 9.6. I don't. That's not going to get a 9.8 either. I remember that. But this is one definitely will get graded. This is Godslap issue 0. This was a limited. I want to say it was limited to 500. It's a decently pricey book. This is from a YouTuber that I watch. He started doing a comic, and this is one of the variants he did that I really liked. He had some other ones I thought about maybe getting graded as well, but this was ended up being my favorite cover. And so if you're not super knowledgeable about him, actually I made some videos, and that's I think still one of the biggest videos, or like most views on my channel, is talking about reviewing I think this issue, and obviously he's a real big YouTuber, so got a bunch of attention from that, and I was hoping forever ago when I sent that in, I was like, maybe I don't know if other people have them graded or not, but I wanted to be the first person to have one graded, and I was like, oh, that'll be a cool video to do. But now it's been so long, and I don't care to rush it out, even if no one else has graded one yet. Just the ambition of having that as a fun little video is definitely gone. But regardless, I do definitely still want this graded at some point. This one, I need to check prices on this one, because some of these books, were a lot of comics were very expensive at that time when I sent these in, and some of them have cooled off. Actually, well, pretty much all of them have cooled off, and most comics have cooled off since that time period. There are a couple, I think, that maybe went up, but I'll get to those. They're near the bottom of the stack here. But we have Iron Man 128, and this is the iconic Demon in a Bottle cover. And I'm a huge Iron Man fan, and there's not a lot of Iron Man slabs I would like to get. Obviously, first Iron Man Tales of Suspense 39, I'd love to get. 128, I would like to get as a slab. And, I know everyone's like, 55, that's a great one. I don't really care. It's first Thanos and first somebody else, Drax. And I'm just like, nah, I don't really care for the cover or whatever. I'm an Iron Man fan. I don't care about the fact that it's Thanos. I want Iron Man books. And that being said, this is an awesome Iron Man cover. There is one, I think it's first Rhodey. I can't remember the number of it off the top of my head. But Tony Stark's falling out of the airplane, and he's got a suitcase full of armor, and the armor pieces falling everywhere. And I love that. It's not an airplane, a helicopter. And anyway, I love that cover. Definitely want to get that one slabbed at some point. But anyway, I have to check the prices on this one. This one might be one where it might not be too bad just to go ahead and get a graded, nice, decent 9.0 or something. I don't know. Moving on. These next two were ones that I was going to be... All of them, obviously, I was upset that I thought they were gone forever. But this one I felt was a little bit more special. This is Daredevil number 9, and it is signed by David Mack, which I absolutely love David Mack's work. And, well, I got one right there, the first Jessica Jones. But this one I think is a pretty cool cover, and it's first appearance of Echo. I don't know if I said that. First appearance of Echo, which obviously, again, those books have gone down a lot. But this one I love even more, and this one is funnily enough, a less valuable book. It's number 10, the second appearance of Echo, but the first cover appearance, also signed by David Mack. But this is one of my favorite covers I think he's ever done. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I really, really love this one. I do have this one in a 9.8, not signed already. I sent one in that I didn't think was going to get a 9.8, because this is one of those comics that has a little fold out from the front cover here. You see how it has that black bar, so the cover folds out. I can't remember what's on the inside now, but anyway, so just the edge of that looked a little too rough to me to get a 9.8, but clearly they're not as hard on those, because those type of edges are kind of rough-ish looking, if you know what I'm talking about with those. But anyway, so those two books I was a little bit more upset about the idea of never getting back. Not to say I could never get some more. They're not super expensive books, and get them again signed and everything, but I was like, man, those are just so cool, and I really, really like them. Now these next two books are two that I'm not positive, but I think may have actually gone up in value since I sent them in. And we have Daredevil number 8. This is the first appearance of Stiltman, and the second appearance of his red suit. First appearance. No, yeah, 7 is his first red suit, and that's the one where he's fighting Submariner, and I just don't care about that cover. I don't like it very much. But I do love some Stiltman, and I think this is a really dynamic cover. Not the best colors on my particular issue. This should be white, and then the red doesn't pop very well. But I got it pretty cheap. And, it's an old Daredevil book. But Daredevil's definitely popped off a lot more since when I sent those in. So, I'm not positive, like I said, but I think this might actually be worth a little bit more, surprisingly enough. And same with this one, another Daredevil book we have here. Now, this one's super brown. Or tanning, as they say. But we have Daredevil number 4, and this is the first appearance of Purple Man. And, again, they're in the yellow suit before he got the red one. and super iconic. Well, I don't want to say super iconic, but it, in the Jessica Jones show, Purple Man was in it and was amazing. Super, super awesome villain. I'm holding out for Stiltman. I'd love to see a Stiltman. It'd probably have to be something goofy like She-Hulk or something. Like, I don't know who would really be fighting Stiltman. But regardless, I just like Stiltman. He's fun, and I think he's funny. But anyway, I thought, 2 really old, sub 10 Daredevil keys. Those are pretty sick to add to the collection. And who would have guessed that later on I'd have the number 1? I never would have thought, I was so stoked when I got these. Now, these are the ones that have been gone for over 2 years at this point. And so it's been a long time since I bought those. But I was so stoked to get some old Daredevil keys like that. And yeah, never would have imagined that I'd be getting a number 1 to go up with them. Now, I don't know if I'll end up getting those graded. It's one of those things, like, like I said, I've had a couple years since then, and I've definitely got some bigger books, some more exciting books. And although these are still cool, they're definitely not as exciting as they were when I got them. To me, those were like, oh my god, these are huge books, they're crazy cool, And, since then I've got some other really big bangers. And they're just not that great of copies, I do eventually definitely want a number 8 graded, but at the very least I would like to have one with better reds, because again, I do really love this cover, and I don't think it's that expensive to get a good, like maybe 6 or 7 or something that presents a lot better than this. And then here's my number 1 book that I was most upset about losing. This is one that people have been shocked that I didn't own because they don't see it, and it's kind of hard to see. But I got like a Black Cat collection, and they're like, "How do you not own Spider-Man 194?" And the thing is I did own it. I owned 2 actually at one point, and I got one of them back. So one I did sell. I had a graded 6.0, and a friend of mine was in the market for one, and he let me know. And it was probably been about a month since I sent this one out, and I was like, in my brain, I was like, oh yeah, that'll be coming back pretty soon. I think it should grade higher than a 6, because it's a not a super amazing copy, but it's a pretty decent copy. And I was like, yeah, I can sell it to you. If it wasn't a friend looking for it, I wouldn't have sold it. I didn't have any intention of selling it, but a friend was looking for that book, and I was like, I do got an extra copy. I'll sell it to him, And then yeah, so then it's been over a year and a half, and I hadn't had this one, and I thought I was just completely out of 194s now, which broke my heart a little bit. I actually had even been window shopping fairly recently, looking at prices and looking at grades, and I was thinking about maybe getting like an 8 or a 9 or something. But I do have this one back. And yes, I'll probably eventually get this one graded. Again, I've kind of still been window shopping, and maybe think, because I think, I don't know, I haven't really looked at it again. But when I sent this out, I do remember thinking, because I had one already, there was a 6, and I was like, yeah, this one should maybe get like a 7. And it's definitely, yeah, it has like some color rub on the spine here. With that black cover, it can be kind of hard, especially a lot of black on the spine. I don't feel like taking it out of the bag right now to look at the back, but I'm still happy to have it now. I do own a 194 again, but I may just go ahead and, because I think the price isn't too bad. Not anything soon, but in the relative near future, I may just end up buying like an 8 or a 9 or something, because I do really like Black Cat. Obviously, I have a Black Cat collection, so I would like to get a higher grade, as high as possible. Like I think even a 9.4 isn't too crazy from what I recall. I was looking at, but it probably wouldn't get anything that high. Like, I think, to me, if I got a 9, that'd be like, all right, that's pretty good for that book, But yeah, just wanted to share that. Wanted to again, I probably won't go into a bunch of details about what happened. The point is that I'm happy that they're back. And especially after fairly recently just feeling so defeated. I'd been really just like pushing them to the back of my mind for a couple years now. And again, it's also important to remember when I sent those in, that's when everything was really backed up. So it was completely normal to be like, oh yeah, I won't see these books back for like a year. You know what I mean? And then a year passed. And then it's like, oh wait, we'll just try not to think about it right now. Maybe it's a little later and whatever. And then we got into some drama, we'll say. And then yeah, recently I was just like, yep, time to start replacing those books, I guess. And then it was like a week ago. And then and they're like, oh, where they are, very unexpectedly, they're back in my life, and I'm happy about that. This Sunday is my birthday. I will be going to a convention earlier in the day, but then still continuing with our community hangout night. Should be on time at 8 p.m. Eastern time, if everything goes to plan. And then yeah, I'm going to show off whatever we get from the convention, which is at least going to be some signatures. I don't, you never know what's going to be at a convention, so maybe find some other cool things. And then on top of that, I should have a box of brand new sketch covers that have been done for me. I have no idea how many are in the box. I have no idea what they are. We're going to open them up on stream and find out, and I'm super excited for it. I think that's all I have for you today, though. Again, if you are interested in joining the monthly pool out of the short box of goodies, consider to join the channel memberships. And if you're a gambling man, maybe think about I wanted to make the secondary and third tiers compelling as someone that enjoys gambling. I wanted it to be something, and I think 10 pools out of that third tier is kind of nutty. Your odds at the moment are pretty good. Again, not a ton of channel members, so your odds are pretty dang good, I think. And I will continue to add more stuff to it. Maybe even pick up stuff at the convention this weekend. So that's all I got for you today, though. I got another fun video coming up for you, I think, tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.